Oh yeah, I guess I don't. Yeah, I'm live. How about that? Haha. Hello, hello, hello. How about that? Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, first live. First live. Hello. Hello, Nancy. Good to see you tonight. Good to see you, the source. MCK. Is it Kobe, right? Or Cody? Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. MCK. Yeah. You're awesome. Yeah, I was checking out your channel. It's pretty cool. A little bit, a little bit. The paranormal stuff is kind of, it's definitely interesting. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Morgan. Oh, Morgan. Okay. All right. Sweet. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. That's a good idea. This this glare is pretty bad. Um, I'm Joe Remington, and Um, I'm a father of a little young 7-year-old daughter named Abigail. Um, means father's joy in Hebrew, and she inspired me to write a book, my first book, which was really cool. Um, when she was 4 years old, we had just went through a tornado, and about 3 months later, let's see if I can back up just a little bit. Lights are. Um, so when we had just gone through tornado, and yeah, I wrote a book, yeah, called Power of 24 Hours, and it was a lot of fun. It's a combination of time management and um, also within time management, we all have the practical application of, have a morning routine, um, and the things that we should do, how to set up priorities and all that other stuff. And that's the practical side. And I think sometimes the issue with time management is we all know what to do. It's just we don't have the motivation to do it sometimes. So within the concept, or what I was thinking when when I started to write the book, was it would be really cool if we not only had the practical application, but also had a way to have the mindset, the interconnection. And one of the best ways that we often are able to do that is through story. So after each chapter, there is a reader centric adventure, which takes the reader from reality into the inner workings of the mind. So, for instance, after the first chapter, there is an adventure called the Library of Lost Hours, and in the Library of Lost Hours, the reader wakes up and hits the alarm, or hits the snooze on the alarm, but then starts to think, I told myself I wouldn't hit the snooze button. I told myself I would get up. So as the reader wakes up and sits up in the bed, they realize that they're not in their room anymore, but they're in a library, trying to figure out how they got to this library. The reality is, the um, they did hit the snooze button and they did go back to sleep. So it's kind of like the theta state of the mind. And so as they're exploring this library with books from floor to ceiling and thumbing their finger across the spines, the inner thoughts of um, self-doubt and procrastination and laziness start to eat away at the mind. And you know you told yourself you would not hit the snooze button, but why not, right? So yeah. Anyways, that's that's kind of the idea behind that. And the reason why I started to write it was we had a tornado that hit, and a couple months after the tornado, um, our weather radio went off again, and my daughter was not liking the idea of going through another tornado. But this one was not a tornado; it was an Amber Alert, and so we had to explain to our daughter that. That this was not a tornado, it was an Amber Alert, and that meant that there was a little girl not much older than she was that got taken away from her mommy and daddy. And that's a hard topic to explain to a 4-year-old, but her first response was, "Let's pray right now, mommy and daddy." And so her mom got on one side, and I got on the other side of her, and rather than us starting to pray, she began to pray. And this little 4-year-old girl started to pray for no less than 10 minutes. Father, I ask you to protect the little girl that was taken from her mommy and daddy. I pray that you stop the bad man that took her. I pray that he goes to jail, and that you protect the little girl, and just pouring her heart out, which obviously was very moving for her mom and I. And and that was an experience. And after that, 2 days later, after church, we went to my mom's house to eat lunch, and I got the news that the little girl had been found, and the the man was arrested, and the parents were reunited with their child, and um, got to share the news with my daughter, which was very exciting. She had an answer to her prayer, and after that, she asked a very interesting question, which was, "What are we going to do about the little children that don't get found?" Which was quite a question for a young girl. And so our first idea was we wanted to find an organization to support, which we found Operation Underground Railroad, which was started by Tim Ballard. Interestingly enough, Tim Ballard wound up being there. There was a movie that was recently released called The Sound of Freedom, that was based off of Tim Ballard, and we started to support that organization. And one of the ways we started to organize or tried to support it was we decided we were going to create a coffee company. It was not successful. Excuse me. Still getting over a bit of a cough, so apologize for that. But it was not successful. We raised some money, but in the end, we had to shut it down because the prices that we were getting, we were like private labeling coffee, and then offering a portion of the profits to Operation Underground Railroad. Wound up losing several thousand more dollars than we wound up raising, but it was an experience. And after that, we didn't let that deter us. We still wanted to do something. And one of the ways that after all the different things that I've tried over the years, one of the things that I decided was I have to get over my fear of speaking on camera. I need to get over my hesitation for bringing individuals, like-minded individuals, into my world and sharing this adventure we call life. And so that was kind of the idea. Was one of the ideas was to write this. I didn't do any launch for it. I after writing it, which was kind of fun because as I was writing it, every time, since there's adventures in it, and I'll get to comments here in just a few minutes. One of the interesting things is because there's adventures in it, every time I would finish an adventure or get more written on the adventure, my daughter would say, will you read it to me? I would really like to for you to read it to me. And so I got to read some of the adventures to her, and she would be like, I really like that. I understand that. I started writing it in December of last year. So it's been 1 year since I started, and I published it in September, I believe, which it's, not really not got a lot of sales and everything. But because I didn't do any launch process or anything else like that, published it on Amazon, and came to the realization that in order to get my message out and share what I have going on, I not only have to publish the book, but I have to tell people about it. And one of the best ways to tell people about it is to get on YouTube and get in other areas where I can share the message that we have. So I'm going to start reading some comments and everything, find out what everybody's been saying, because I see comments coming over here, and I kind of see. Yeah, it is sad, Simi. Very, very much so. The reality is that, man, human trafficking is it's a heartbreaking thing, and there are so many children, women, and even boys that get taken, and they're trafficked, and it's a terrible situation. It became really real to me, obviously with our daughter and everything. She's now 7 years old, and we named her Abigail Hope, because Abigail, like I said at the beginning, Abigail means Abba means father. Gail is for joy, is joy. So she is Father's joy, and she is our hope. It took us 10 years. 10 years of trying to have a child. We had 2 miscarriages, and 10 years to the week. Some family, my mom and some other family had raised some money towards an adoption fund for us, and I held the idea for the whole 10 years throughout all the process that I believed that God was going to, just like so the name Joseph means God shall add in Hebrew. Hebrew is one of the things that the language is so amazing to me, and means God shall add, and I held to that God was going to add unto me a child. I pray for more and everything, but I'm 46 years old, so we'll see. But my mom and others really wanted us to go through the adoption process, and I kept on holding on to the idea of Abraham. When Abraham was 75 years old, he was God came to him, and the relationship between Abraham and God began when he was 75 years old. About 14 years later, Sarah and Abraham realized that they still had not attained the promise of God, that God would make him a father of many nations, and they were still without child. So so Sarah offered uh, Hagar to Abraham, and they had a child, Ishmael. And but that was not the promise that God had given him. So when Abraham was 99, of course, the angel of the Lord came back to him and said that that the promise to be was to be given at the time of birth. So when Abraham was 100 years old, they had Isaac, which means means laughter. And I was holding on to that myself as a believer. I was holding on that God was going to add unto my wife and I a child, and it took 10 years, literally 10 years to the week. And we found out that she was 3 weeks pregnant. 3 weeks after our 10-year anniversary, we found out she was 3 weeks pregnant. So, which was pretty amazing. So, that is our story of our daughter. So, yeah. Oh man, let's see. Natural. It's I'm happy it comes off that way, but no, it's hard for me sometimes to get on. But hey, God is good, so he gives me strength, and I appreciate that. This family. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah, it's a not yeah, it's a smile. Yes. Sometimes it's easy. I find it easy to smile because one, it can be to hide the nerves, and then two, just because man, life is awesome. So yes, yeah, yeah, MCK, yeah, you definitely need to publish a book. Publishing a book it's a fun journey. It's a fun journey. Um, there's all kinds of things that publishing a book does, even without a lot of sales. One of the things that that I found very interesting in joining different communities and others, just the idea that you have a published book. It's fun because it's like, oh, you published a book. It's a fun thing, and getting to share that with others is very, very fun. You started your YouTube journey in December of last year. That's awesome, man. You're killing it with subscribers and people that have come to join your journey. That's awesome, MCK. Appreciate that. Yes, appreciate that. I not just because I wrote it and everything, but I do think that it'll be beneficial for anyone, not just in so for I just kind of sharing everything a little bit more about it. So in each chapter, there's a framework. So for instance, with the morning routine, there's a RISE framework, which is revitalize, infuse, strategize, and execute. So in writing it, I wanted to kind of simplify or make like frameworks for different parts of the day, because it's with each one you have not only the RISE framework, but Thrive, and you have a Connect framework for nighttime routine. But again, a lot of people know what to do. It's easy to know what to do. I mean, I work roughly 60 hours. I'm away from home every week. And time is valuable. And I work an hour away from home, so I typically leave the house somewhere around 5 o'clock, and in order to get to work at 6, I will typically get off work somewhere between anywhere from 3 to 5 o'clock. So I could be getting home from 4 to 6 o'clock in the evening. When I get home, time with my daughter, time with my wife is number one. And after time with my wife and daughter, once my daughter goes to bed, a lot of times it's 8 to 9 o'clock in the evening. Try and optimize as much time as I can with her, and then I want to grow. I want to do things, and whether it be writing or sharing other people's journeys and other things. So a lot of times I'll get to bed somewhere around 10:30, 11 o'clock, and get back up somewhere around 4 o'clock, 4:30. Oh, thank you, Simi. I appreciate you. You're awesome. You're awesome. I was just checking out your channel before coming on. I'll start commenting and checking out some of your stuff. Susan, good to see you, Susan. Good to see you. That's awesome. Everybody is so awesome. I love this. This community has been great. The love, and the love that we've seen, or that I've seen, just in general is just it's pretty amazing. And I'm thankful for everyone. I'm thankful for everyone. I like that source. TODD. That's awesome. God is great. Yes, He is. Yes, He is. God is great. I have a lot of stuff that, man. You want to get me started on my faith journey. I started. I don't know anybody. So my faith journey is kind of interesting. Everything's for a lot for me started in 2006. I guess I'll share a little bit of that. A lot for me started in 2006, 2005, really. I met my wife in February 2005, and just I was doing all kinds of things. I was working. I was driving taxi. I decided to work overnight at a gas station, which is where I met my wife. She started training me, and then I also started to try and clean windows on the side, as if I wasn't doing enough driving taxi. And I was living in Florida, and thank you, MCK. And the first night I met my wife, and we were stocking the cooler and got to talking, and I was trying to get involved in a church, and things were, I was in my mid-20s, and things were rocky all over the place. I spent about 10, almost 11 years of my life in foster homes and stuff. So I was, it was a rough time up till my mid-20s. But about 3 months after spending some time with my wife and getting to know her, and I walked into this little storefront building, and it was a small church, and small Pentecostal church, which I had never knew really what any of that was about. And I offered my services to clean the windows into this small church. And after about 4.5 hours of talking to this man, the pastor, there was something that was so different about him. He never talked anything out of the Bible, just got to know me, spending some time getting to know me. And I left out of there trying to figure out what was so different about him. And I saw some things that were some words on the window like holiness and Pentecostal and apostolic and things that were just like confusing to me. So I went home, and every chance I got, I got on the internet and started searching what this was all about, and um, went through a about 3 weeks just really trying to figure things out, and got a call from him about probably about 3-4 weeks later, uh, asking for me to clean the windows to his house, and spent some more time with him and went to church. He invited us to eat dinner at their house, and that was an amazing experience. They provided some of the best steaks and restaurant style potatoes that I've ever eaten to this day. And they invited us to church after that. And man, walked into that little building and felt the Spirit of God in there, and uh, never stopped going. And after that, he put us through a discipleship program where we started to dig into the Word of God, and it was an amazing experience. And what was it even more interesting to me was the approach of taking it not from a Western culture's perspective, but from a Hebraic perspective, from the perspective that we are all descendant from all the way from Noah, and then outside of that from the Abrahamic covenant, and that we need to, when we study the Bible, we need to study the Bible from an understanding, not from wearing the glasses that we have from our Western culture, or even from any culture. Just studying the Bible for what it is, studying the Bible for um, in the culture that it was written in. And that doesn't mean that we have to study it through from a using the language of Hebrew or anything else like that. But I will say that it is very interesting when you do start taking it from start looking at some of the Hebrew letters and words and how they form. But yeah, God is great. He's amazing, and he's richly blessed me in many ways. So let me read some comments here. Shangi girl, is that how you say that? Creating change, yeah. Awesome, creating change. God is great. Awesome. Yes, first time doing. First time doing live. I appreciate everybody showing me love and coming and supporting me. So how's everybody doing tonight? Thank you, creating change. How's everybody doing? Anybody have any? How's YouTube journey so far? So far, YouTube journey is very interesting. Um, I so I took before I posted anything on YouTube, I was a part of a school community. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the school platform, SKOOL. Um, Alex Armozy and several others and everything, I got involved in a community on the school platform. And one of the communities that I joined was about creating confidence on camera. And the creator of the school community, Andy Samuel, had a 5-day confidence challenge to put yourself out there. And I took that, and he gave me some feedback, things that I could do to improve. And the first video was really easy, and I basically got to tell the story of my daughter and the Amber Alert, and so that was pretty easy. He wanted everything to be unscripted, and so that was pretty easy because it was a story that I was very comfortable talking about. And day number 2 and day number 3, I had this thing where I kept on. My tone was very monotone. It was very monotone, and because the first video, even though it was easy to tell the story, I did a lot of ums and uhs and stuff, and so his feedback was part of that. And so days 2 and 3, I really tried to focus on slowing down so I didn't do a lot of the uhs and ums. But what happened was it became very robotic, and he's like, if you can just work a little bit on your pacing. And by day 4, I decided, you know what? I'm going to script this thing. It's going to be on a teleprompter, and I'm going to nail this. There's not going to be a pacing issue. I'm going to be able to get this. And I did get it, but it came off like I was reading a script, and he mentioned that it sounded like I was reading from a teleprompter, and kind of sounded like I was, a used car salesman. He didn't say used car salesman, but I kind of used that critique on myself. And so day number 5, I was like, okay, here's the thing. I basically called myself out. I was like, okay, here's what happened on day 1. Here's what happened days 2 and 3. Here's what happened in day 4. And so I'm going to try and take all of that feedback and use that as my thoughts for day number 5. And it worked really well. And he's like, man, that's the best. That's the best one you've done all day. And a couple of days later, I was like, you know what? December 1st is coming around. And what if I just went with this and I published my first long form piece of content on YouTube and use this 5-day challenge as momentum. And so I did. And what started happening from December 1st on is I got super sick, and I started losing my voice, and I'm still 14 days later, I still have this annoying cough that comes up every now and then. And so I think it was from December 1st. I think the next one I published was about a week later. And I found this. So right after, let me back up a little bit. So right after, about the same time I mentioned, or I met Andy Samuel with his challenge, King Explicit started coming up on my YouTube feed. And to see him and his very chilled, relaxed vibe of like, man, you just got to keep posting. What are you doing? Your life is your content. What are you doing? And I was like, man, he's right. And then after seeing King Explicit come up, Matthew started coming up, Nemo 504, and his energy. And I'm like, oh man. everybody seems to just be hitting me with this. I need to do something. I need to get out there. And so that was kind of my introduction into what became meeting all of you to one extent or another. So yeah, my journey has been, to use Nemo's, phenomenal. I think my journey has been phenomenal. It's been it's been quite an adventure. 14 days in, it's been quite an adventure. I haven't posted as many videos as I kind of challenged myself to do. Um, Still kind of dealing with the throat thing, uh, and but it's been great, and I do plan on getting back in it, and I've got a lot of ideas for things to post, whether it be on time management or productivity, and just being and trying to be positive and share the adventure with everyone. Yeah, Nemo Nemo is phenomenal. Absolutely, his energy is infectious for sure. Um, and then I've spent a lot of times with Oh So Ravishing. She goes live all the time. I try and be on her lives all the time. Of course, Todd, with his lives, I'm always trying to be on his lives because he's got a lot of great stuff to share. And yeah, just trying to get myself out there and snap back. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings. How are you? Dodash? Yeah, so Dodash was an early creator that started popping up on my feed, and she had a very infectious um, persona, and I watched probably about 7 or 8 of her videos, but I kind of stopped watching her videos. Um, they just, I don't know. And I know there's a lot of people that are posting on Dodash right now, so I'll leave it there. But I kind of stopped following a lot of the stuff that she was posting. I'm sure she's a sweet person and stuff, and I'm not going to say anything bad about her. But yeah, I just, you know what's going on. So I kind of feel that way. Um, that I just I kind of stopped watching her videos. So so let's see. Yeah, yeah. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, that one's one that I don't really want to go any further with. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Redneck Barbie. I love you. I love you. You have such a personality. I love you. Yeah, yes. Look at the family growing. Thank you. Thank you. You've got such a great personality. I love watching your videos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. 39 minutes. Wow. Time flies. Kind of kind of surprised. I was not expecting to be on this long. Yeah. What's your best life? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it does. I guess it does, and I definitely appreciate everyone being on. It does feel good to have so many people showing me love, and oh, you shouldn't be too shy. I'm too shy. Look at me. I'm too shy. I'm kind of a little self conscious and everything because I've been I don't I'm gonna just call it out and everything. My neck is all red and everything. I feel hot and everything. If you kind of see that, it's not just the poor quality of the camera. My neck is red. You know, I'm a nervous wreck. You know, so you shouldn't be too nervous. I'm nervous. I'm very introverted. I don't know if anybody knows about the 16 personalities Myers Briggs uh, test. Um, I'm an INFJ. I'm very introverted. Um, you go live all the time. Awesome, awesome, MCK. I'm gonna have to check some of your stuff out. Earning more than 100 watch hours. Wow. Yeah. 345 videos. What you got on your channel is 345 videos within the year time. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Congratulations on that. That's a lot of videos. Thank you. Thank you. Before you came on, I explained a little bit of the smile. A lot of the smile is nervousness. Um, it is easier to smile, but a lot of the smile is nervousness. Yes, yeah, stepping out of the comfort zone for sure. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone. And the idea that that this is live and I've got people in here and I'm the one talking and the only one talking. Definitely not something that that is a comfort thing. So do shorts. Yeah, I think I was talking. I can't remember who. I think whose live I was in earlier today, and the conversation on shorts came up. I like the idea of shorts because obviously they're short and easy, and you don't really have to have a lot to say. My part of my hang up with shorts is you have to do so many of them on YouTube, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of you have to do a lot of work, it seems, for the shorts. And for me, it seems like a platform um, um, like wow, not TikTok, but the other. um, just completely lost my train of thought there. It seems like shorts are really good for TikTok and the other platforms. But I don't know. I do have I think I have three shorts on YouTube right now, and I'm getting good traction. I think for me, I'm getting good traction. I think I've got a couple hundred views on one and close to 300 on the other. One that hasn't really shown much traction. They are easier to do. I just don't know how many of them I'm going to do. Thank you, Snapback. I appreciate your support and yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, part of the grind. Yeah, for sure. Bring you twice as much. Yeah, it's a good point. Good point. I'll do shorts. They're easy, and I think they seem to be a lot quicker. A lot of I think the biggest one that I got, the biggest short that I got, I did in my truck at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I had no light except for the little light, the little headlight, and I'm like, okay, and I'm trying to get close to the light as I could, and And I think that's the one that got the most traction. I had my jacket on and everything, my high vis shirt, because I work in asphalt and mining, and I work in quality control. So I'm a rock alchemist. Not a job that most people even know exist. YouTube pushes shorts. Okay, yeah. I mean, I'll definitely do them. Hobbies. Uh, I don't have much time for hobbies. Between work, my daughter is my hobby. I come home and that's it. We try and spend a little bit of time, play, and by the time I get home, it's time to eat dinner and spend just a small amount of time playing and put her to bed. And I guess my biggest hobby is I've not been successful at it, but I guess my biggest hobby has been really trying to figure marketing. I love marketing, even though I have not been successful in selling anything. I have a plethora of that guy, Russell Brunson books, and I've tried several things on the marketing side, but have not really been successful. I've had a few successes, but so for the last year, that my own book has been, until September. That's been my hobby whenever I did have time, and then I might go live. You should definitely go live. Talk about. Yeah, I mean, smiling is the way. I mean, it's one of those things where it'll hide the nervousness. I think it hides the nervousness, especially if it's authentic. And I'm yeah, I'm good. I mean, what is not funny for me about being live and talking in front of a camera? That to me is pretty comical and funny because I'm nervous. So do it. Yes, do it, Simi, for sure. Yeah. Thank you, Simi. I appreciate you for sure. Yeah, I agree with creating change and MCK. Do it. Just do it. It's the best way. I mean, the best way to get out of your comfort zone is to do it. Same here. Yeah. You can do it too. Yeah, you can do it too, Barbie. Yeah, you'll be fine. And I mean, your comedic shorts and videos. Just do the same. Do the same live. Do the same live. I mean, why not, right? Yeah, I definitely appreciate you coming and spending some time with me. Yes, you will be funny. I mean, come on. You're Gen X. You're going to be funny. We've got the best of all worlds. I mean, I might be a little bit biased. I'm 46. Yeah, yeah, she's hilarious. If you haven't checked out her channel, MCK, if you haven't checked out her channel, she's hilarious. And yeah, she's definitely hilarious. She's got and with what she posts, she has me cracking up all the time. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it's not that it's hard, I guess, until you start running out of things to say. And I guess technically, I probably couldn't run out of things to say if we get on that topic, but I don't know if we really want to go there first time. Jamal. I love watching Jamal, man. He gets on his lives, and sometimes he'll get to preaching. I enjoy that. Play an instrument. I can't play an instrument. I can barely play this instrument. Yeah. 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 I might say that for a different one, Barbie. Yes. That's true, Source. That's true. We are all the instruments, for sure. We are all the instruments. It does a washboard count. Hey, why not, right? Why not? Amen. Yeah. Yeah. God is awesome. God is awesome. Yeah. I'd like to see a washboard and some spoons. Get going. Yeah. My wife sings. She's amazing. She's got her voice. Her voice is her instrument. She's learning to play keyboard in church. So she's got a great voice. There you go. You have a video. I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, we need to find that video for sure. Yeah, I'll be looking for that one. It's an old one. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Every time I see it, I try and I'm like, okay, got to check out my girl. Where do you live in Texas? I don't remember. I used to live in San Antonio. I went to high school in San Antonio. Oh, okay. All right. Sweet. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm at 52 minutes. I'm gonna stick with Todd's experiment and get off within an hour by the end of the hour. Um, but yeah, I went to high school and at 11 years old, I was taken to Tech from Florida to Texas. All right. Thank you very much, Source. Appreciate your support. Thank you very much for your support and coming in and spending time. Love. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it out, Tom. I'm gonna see how it goes. Good night, Source. Thank you. Thank you so much. You lived in Florida for a while? Yeah, I lived near Tampa, about 30 minutes north of Tampa, called Zephyr Hills. Now, Brandon, yeah, I spent some time in Brandon, Florida. Yeah, yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zephyr Hills, yeah. Used to be a lot smaller than it is now. It's grown. It's kind of become part of Wesley Chapel and New Tampa is really what it's kind of seemed to grow there. Um, Blissfully Renee, how are you? It's great. Thank you for coming. I'm doing well. First live, so yeah, kind of kind of getting through all the nerves, getting through everything. Anthony, my time. I love you, bro. Look at you. Thank you for coming by and checking me out. So good to see you, Anthony. Yeah, first live. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I was a little nervous to do it, but we did it, and we're now at 54 minutes and 33 seconds, and yeah, time flies. Time flies on it when you have good people support you and love on you and give you give you the encouragement to do it. Doing great. 8 people. Wow. Yeah, I don't even know how to check all that yet. I see that. Oh yeah, yeah, I do. I do. Thank you. 8 people and 12 likes. Thank you so much. I see now. It was white, glasses and all. Thank you so much for 13 likes. Thank you, everyone. You are awesome. You are awesome. First is the hardest. Yeah. Stay live. Yeah. Just came on. Thank you so much for coming, Anthony. I have I've been trying this out. I started off talking about my book, which was awesome. You've been talking a lot about being an author and the different things it takes. I resonated a lot with that. Um, so I love it. Being an author is pretty crazy. I think once I published it, I was telling everybody I didn't do any launch process or anything. I just um, since uh, my daughter was my encouragement, and we had gone through a tornado. I'm just going to recap just a little bit for you, Anthony, just because we had just gone through a tornado about 2-3 months earlier. I think it was 2 months earlier, and our weather radio went off, and it wound up being an Amber Alert, and we had to explain to my then 4-year-old daughter that it was an Amber Alert and what that meant. And we just told her exactly what it meant. Was that a little girl not much older than her had been taken away from her mommy and daddy. And so my daughter, without hesitation, at 4 years old, said, "Let's pray right now, mommy and daddy." And so her mom got on one side of her and I got on the other side. And she decided to start praying herself. And for about 10 minutes, she prayed herself. And it wasn't just little words and everything, but she said, Father, I pray that you protect the little girl and you take the bad man into jail, and that you watch over the parents, and that that everyone is safe. And we went through that, and we were very emotional, and she had us all crying. And 2 days later, after church, we went to my mom's house, and I got the news alert came on my phone that the little girl had been rescued. And so I got the joy of being able to tell her that the little girl was found and back with her mommy and daddy, and she's safe. And then she asked the next question: what are we going to do about the little boys and girls who don't get found? And that, over the next 3 years, kind of became, we had a failed coffee business that didn't take off, where we wanted to raise money for Operation Underground Railroad, and we failed. We wound up raising a little bit, but then spending a lot more money than we raised. And then the next step of that process, of that evolution, was, okay, what can I do? I need to get the voice. I need to get my voice out there. I need to get the message out there to bring awareness to human trafficking. It was a really big joy for us to find out that the creator of Operation Underground Railroad wound up having a movie, Sound of Freedom, made about his life, about his journey, and what he was doing. So that was a pretty cool thing to see Sound of Freedom come out for such a devastating thing such as human trafficking. And I still wanted to do something. I want to get my voice out there, and I want to share the devastation of human trafficking. So I began to write a book on time management. And after after each chapter there is an adventure, and that adventure kind of is a reader-centric adventure where the reader goes inside these adventures to kind of help get the mind right. So I shared a little while ago that, like, the first adventure, the reader is faced with the voices of procrastination, self-doubt, and laziness, and comes out the other side of that adventure with an epiphany that they can keep on going. And after each chapter, there's another adventure that kind of takes them through a 24-hour day period. So yeah, and yeah, so getting a lot of love. Oh, yeah. Your favorite Jersey girl, finding my fit. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and joining. Thank you. That is so awesome. Sound of Freedom was an awesome movie. It was. I mean, it brought a lot of, I think it brought a lot of awareness, to the, to human trafficking. So many people get trafficked, and it's a very, very bad thing. And it's close to especially after my daughter kind of went through and had that personal experience, it became a lot more, um, close of a thing to me. And my wife's always on mom groups and everything. We live off of a highway, one of the most trafficked highways in the eastern United States, I-65, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing. And King Explicit. Oh, I made mention of you just a little while ago. Oh, thank you so much for coming and seeing. I'm live for the first time, and you were a big influence. Hashtag keep posting. It's the movement. Oh man, what's up? How are you? Yep. Oh man, yeah. His videos really got me going. Seeing how just yeah, that's right. Oh man, see how calm and chill he is. It's just it's something. Yeah, that's right. It's the movement. God did. Yeah. Yeah, so that was he was a big influence coming off right off from me going through that 5-day video challenge. Yeah, God did. That's right. Yeah, appreciate you coming and supporting King Explicit. Yeah, amen for that. Yeah, it's a man. It's amazing. I all the love and support. I appreciate you all coming. 15 likes, 8 people live. I mean, I'm a nervous wreck. But you're all encouraging me, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Creating Change. I appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, King, when did you come on? I missed you. Did you come on in the middle of that story? Yeah. This is just the beginning. Yeah, it is. It is just the beginning. Thank you, King. Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah. Doing amazing. I'm glad you came on too. I'm glad you came on too. Favorite Jersey girl, finding my fit. I'm glad you came on too. Yeah, King. I'm still kind of a little bit on a cough and everything. I've kind of not been able to post as much as I wanted to, but I've still got what seven videos. Definitely not posted as much as I've wanted to. I still want to, and there's so many people I want to shout out, and I want to do a video for and shout everybody out and give everybody love and support that I've received. And Yeah, I definitely want to show more support to everyone. Um, Nemo 504, he's always posting. He's always showing love. King Explicit, you're always on. Todd, he's been he's been doing so much and giving me so much support as well. I'm trying to be as supportive as I can. I'm at work a lot of times, and as I'm working, I'm on live with some Oh So Ravishing or Todd, or whenever I can catch Anthony. Anthony, for some reason, I have you on. I have all of you on all notifications, but for some reason, your lives seem to sneak past me sometimes. I catch them. I catch them sometimes, but excuse me. But sometimes I kind of miss them. I'll take a drink right here. Coffee. 7 o'clock, coffee. A lot of water though too, but not right now. This is my water. Yeah. Waiting on my vid. Oh, okay. Yeah. King, you're always posting stuff. You're always posting stuff. You're an inspiration. Everybody's an inspiration. I mean, everybody has so many. There's so many positive, so much positive vibes in here, in this community. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we need to. So, water and salt are a big thing for me. Um, and that's not only because we're made up of approximately 70% water, just like the earth. Um, but so many of us, I think, for forget to drink enough water. And the thing with salt and everything is salt helps to retain water, especially sea salt. Sea salt has all of the trace minerals and everything else like that. Years ago, there was a prisoner of war, a doctor. They call him Dr. Batman because his name was too hard to pronounce. It's like Batman Gilead or something like that. And I found a video of him that was he told his story, and he was a prisoner of war. And while he was a prisoner, because he was a doctor, they allowed him to have a little basically first aid kit, and that was all they gave him. And he tells one story of a man that had huge ulcer problem, and so he's like curled over, and he's in pain, and he comes to him and says, here's a glass of water, and I want you to take a pinch of sea salt and put it under your tongue, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. And the guy thought he was absolutely crazy. He's hurled over in pain, and he comes back about 20 minutes later, and he says, how you feeling? He's like, still in pain. So he gives him another glass of water and another pinch of sea salt, comes back in about 20, 30 minutes later, and the guy went from hurled over in pain to feeling a lot better. And he's got a book. I don't know if he's still alive now. I think he was pretty old several years ago when I first discovered him. He wrote a book called Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And it's kind of interesting because if you think of how we are created from the earth. Adam, the is means mankind in Hebrew, and Adam was taken out of the Adamah. He was taken out of the dirt. And it's really interesting when you think of all of everything that the earth has, we have. So the earth is approximately 70% water, and that 70% water is 95% of that is salt water. And yeah, you like my Bob Ross? I'm a big Bob Ross fan. Yep. Um, it was just a gift for me. I'll go outside. Yeah. This was a gift to me, and my daughter kind of thinks it looks a little bit like me, which Bob Ross, I don't see the connection, but maybe it's the beard. He's got a little thing there. But I used to draw. I don't draw very much anymore, but yeah. Yeah, yeah. I love Bob Ross. I mean, he's so calm, cool, and collected. Yeah, nothing's better. Home remedies, man. Home remedies are all about it. Yeah. How close is your upload? Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out when you get it posted. Let's see, 9 watchers. Yeah, 70%. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Have to check that out, King. Yeah, I don't have a painting. I don't know if you can. I don't know if the camera. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I don't know where it went, but I destroyed my mic. Yeah, bad move there. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It probably wouldn't have picked up anyway, because it was a drawing. But that's awesome that you have your first painting, 17 likes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everybody's showing me support. I love it. I think I'm just gonna set this right here. Maybe. Yeah, I mainly did. I mainly kept the microphone because in case Jamal came, he's commented. He's commented. Excuse me. He's commented like 2 or 3 different times. Love your microphone, man. 17. Refresh it. Yeah, 17. Yeah, yeah. I see 16, but I like 17. Everyone's awesome. Everyone's so cool. So hour and 12 minutes is amazing. Well, so I guess I failed on the hour thing. King Explicit came in. Miss Do It Yourself. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming in and seeing me. Follow Your Bliss. I think I missed you. Did I miss you? I think I missed you. I don't remember. No, I'm a natural. Doesn't feel natural. But thank you. I love you all. Yeah. Yeah. Jamal. Yeah, Jamal is awesome. Yeah, he might want to sing in it. He might want to sing in it. He might get on that lectern and everything. Get in the pulpit, start preaching from it. He does that sometimes. Live life, love life with Nitya. Nitya, all right, awesome, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm super happy to see everyone. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It seems like I'm more people coming in. More people. Yeah. Follow Your Bliss. She's got an ornament or whatever. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. That's right. Oh man. Let's Do It Yourself. Michelle. My wife just joined. I love you. My wife just joined. Michelle Remington, everyone. My wife just joined. Yeah, Todd, I'm seeing 16 showing up there and 11 people in. But I don't know. I don't know how to view all this. So yeah. Yeah, my wife's awesome. I'm trying to get her. She's got a YouTube channel. She does podcast. She does a podcast called Worth It Show. Maybe she can put her handle her at Worth It Show on there. Yeah, that would be awesome. Everybody can show her love. Trying to get her. She's been. She has. Man, she has an amazing gift. She worked in radio for 10 years at a Christian radio station locally, and she has an amazing voice, and she's got an amazing calling on her life as well. So there, yeah, okay. Well, will that take everyone to the Worth It show? Is it Michelle Remington or is it Worth It show? I'm pretty sure it's Worth It show. Let me check. Yeah, it's Worth It show. Yeah, she's got 32 subscribers, and it's at Worth It show. Yeah, at Worth It show. If anyone wants to show her some love, check out what she's got going. She she's got some amazing stuff, especially for Christian women. Um, she's got some. She's got a really good message, and yeah, thank you all. We can type it in. Yeah, yeah. I think she just did it. I don't know if you. I don't know what happens if I do that, so I'll just leave that alone. But yeah, she typed it in at Worth It show. Let's see. Follow your bliss. Awesome. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate you. Yeah, her message is so when we first had our daughter, she went through a time where there was some postpartum depression, and she overcame that and has been studying cognitive behavioral therapy and going through a cognitive behavioral therapy course and or training, and she's got. I'm encouraging her to get back and record some more because. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Miss Do It Yourself. Yeah. Thank you for all the love that you have. Yeah, you're awesome. Stop talking about. They're here. They're here, man. They're here for the love and support everyone has is amazing. So thank you, Miss Do It Yourself. Yeah, I didn't catch what that was until I read. Let's see. What's something surprising that people don't know about me? Something surprising that people don't know about me. Uh, outside of my nerves and kind of getting through this. Let's see. Um, hmm. Surprising. I'm tall, but that might not be too surprising. But I'm 6'5", so thank you, King. I appreciate you. Yeah. Yeah, something surprising. Maybe my wife can tell you something surprising and embarrassing about me that maybe she'll use this as an opportunity. How did I meet? So yeah, I shared a little bit of it at the start, but that's a good place. That's an easier place. So when I was what 24, 25, I think. Um, I was driving taxi. I was living in Florida. I was driving taxi part time. I started to work at a gas station, which is where I met her overnight. And her I was getting my introduction into how to start and everything. And she walked in and she was getting ready to walk behind the counter. And her first word to me was, "Yo, move." and so that night, she started training me and showing me how to stock the cooler. And we got to talking. And as we were talking, we found a love and a passion for history. Started talking a lot about ancient history, like Egyptian history, pyramids, and stuff like that. And I was going to a church, and I invited her to church. And at first, she was like, "Not really my thing, but I appreciate that." And about 2 or 3 weeks later, she said, "Well, is that offer still available?" Which, of course, it was. And then we started kind of talking and getting to know one another. And I guess here's something that I almost killed her. I almost killed her. I was driving taxi. I was working overnight at a gas station at that gas station, and I had been up for over 24 hours. And my mom was living about 45 minutes away, and I didn't really have a lot of opportunity to visit her very often. And I had made a decision to, after work, even though I was up for over 24 hours, that I was going to drive 45 minutes away to visit my mom. And so she said, "Well, let me come with you." And she did. And we spent probably a few hours there. And on my way home, and I was driving I think it was a 1985 Grand Marquis, no power steering. Um, all the tires were different. There was no matching tires or anything. And I was in the left-hand lane, and it was raining. And I started hydroplane. And so, if you know about a 1985 Grand Marquis, it's a boat of a vehicle, and I had no power steering. And so I wound up like a boat, just gliding from the left hand lane into the right hand lane and onto the shoulder. And as I was sliding, there was this big old group of branches and everything, with a branch sticking right toward my door, and came within a couple of feet from hitting me. And I and thankfully the vehicle stopped, and I looked over, grabbed her hand, and she was as white as could be. And I said, "Are you okay?" And we both were. And I backed the vehicle up and made it the rest of the way home. And so I almost killed her. And and I thought that I was scared, not for me but for her. And I think that was the start of something. So yeah. Yeah, so that's the story, I guess. And so we wound up still talking, and about 3 months later is when we met, who became our pastor. And we started going to church together there. With him, he put us through a discipleship program. He married us a year and 2 months and 2 days later. We got married on April 29th, 2006. And then a little bit after that, he decided that he was going to move his family from Florida to Kentucky. And we looked at each other and said, we want to go with you. And we left every little bit that we had, my job and everything else. We didn't consider anything. And we followed them from Florida to Kentucky. And it all worked out. So, and now we are in the end of 2024. And we have a beautiful daughter named Abigail, who's 7 years old. And that's kind of how I met her. So, yeah. Thank you, Anthony, for coming. I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bye, King. Thank you. If I haven't already got you. I missed all the comments. Thank you. I'm probably going to jump off here pretty soon because we've been an hour and 25 minutes, hour 26 minutes, and everyone has been amazing. Yeah, I've got five people still on. Thank you all for sticking with me for so long, and those that stuck with me for so long. And you're studying Hebrew. Hebrew is amazing. Yeah, Hebrew is an amazing thing, and what does it say? It is Joseph. It is Joseph and Michelle, Joseph and Michelle in Hebrew. And then it's April 29th, 2006. So, yeah. Hello, Lois. How are you? Yeah. That time goes by quick. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. About every time I go to think that we're going to end it, new people come in and show their love. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Hebrew. The thing that I've realized is that with Hebrew, I can preach Jesus right in Genesis 1:1. So Genesis 1:1 connects to John 1:1, and Genesis 1:1 is amazing because you have Bereshit, bara, Elohim, et. So it is from there, which is so cool because what we don't see in English is in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, but in Hebrew there's these two little letters, the Aleph and the Tav. The first letter in the Aleph Tav are the alphabet, what we call the alphabet, and the last letter of the alphabet. And so what's really interesting is if you take those two letters, which is connecting, doesn't really have a definition. It's just a connecting. It is the first letter in the alphabet and the last letter, or the aleph bet, and the last letter. So what's interesting is we have in the beginning God created the alphabet, and from the alphabet He created the heavens and the earth, which is pretty cool because one of the other things that's pretty universal is the phrase abracadabra. And everybody knows abracadabra, and they think the magician is going to pull the rabbit out of the hat. But abracadabra is Aramaic, and there's the Hebrew version of that as well, which means I will create as I speak. So what's interesting is when you have God from the beginning created the Aleph and the Tav, and from the Aleph and Tav, or from the alphabet, He said, "Let there be," and there was. He said, "Let there be the heavens and the earth." He said, "Let there be water," and there was water. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And so there are so many things that we can see in Hebrew that we can't see in English. So, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. To look in Acts. So yeah, so I made mention of teleportation in the Bible. It's kind of a fun one, right? But teleportation in the Bible, teleporting, yeah. So let me read a real quick thing, I guess. because we have that. If everybody's still hanging out, 7 people, 21 likes, and thank you all so much. You are all so amazing. So I believe it's Acts chapter 8. Let me see. All right, so Philip meets attaches himself to Ethiopian eunuch, and this is Acts chapter 8, and you can read all the way through, but starting after let me see. Let me make sure here. Yeah, 8:34. All right. So the eunuch answered Philip and said, I pray thee, of whom speaks the prophet." But we're going to kind of scroll down and go. And it's in verse 39, it says, and when they were come out of the water, the Spirit of the Lord caught away Philip, that the eunuch saw him no more, and he went on his way rejoicing. But Philip was found at Azotus, passing through, he preached in all the cities till he came to Caesarea. So yeah, Philip was there, and he baptized the eunuch, and when the eunuch came out of the water, Philip was gone. The Spirit of the Lord caught him away, and he was found in a city. Can't remember how far the city was, but I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it was like over 20 miles away. So yeah, kind of a fun one. Now let's see. Now, Susan is great. Susan is great. Time is Lois wrote hello. Always learning. Hey, always learning. How are you? Man, so good to see you. So good to see you. I don't know when you came. Hello. Yeah. Let's do it yourself. Yeah, everybody's so amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, 22 likes. Man, I love you guys. 8 people still on. You're amazing, Sammy. There. A truck named Abigail. Abigail's a great name. She's a great person in the Bible. She had great wisdom, and her name means Father's joy. And our daughter's name is Abigail, and her middle name is Hope. So she's not only our joy, but she's also our hope. And it took us 10 years before she 11 years from her birth, from the time my wife and I got married to her birth, and we had 2 miscarriages. And so when she was born, she was definitely both our hope and our joy. And it was a long process from with the miscarriages and the journey that we went through in order to have her. So yeah, thank you. Always learning. I appreciate you. Look at God. Yeah, God is amazing. He has done so many amazing things in my life. The amount of things in my life that He has done can't even be told. So yeah, the amount of miracles in my life that He has done. I was in foster homes for over 10 years, and yeah, he's done. My mom has been in church for 20 years, and she's the most amazing person in the world. But yeah, we've had so many miracles. Yes. Thank you so much. She is amazing. We keep her off of social media, and we keep her picture off. I think there's a few pictures that are floating around, but we keep her completely off social media and completely off um, any of this. She does do her own videos though. We just don't post them. But she's an amazing young girl, and she's growing so much and so quick. And we homeschool her, so we get the benefit of seeing her. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is not what I expected coming on live. Every time I yeah. 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 Homeschool was one of those things that we decided long before we ever had her. Our pastor and his wife raised six beautiful children. All of them were homeschooled from the very beginning, and we have pastor and his wife have a one of their daughters is a nurse practitioner. We have one of his sons is a manager of a restaurant that um, and doing amazing things. We almost all of his children are in service of some sort, and we watch the process of what homeschooling could do, and we've got an amazing homeschool community. So we knew that we were going to homeschool far before COVID ever hit, or far before we ever had Abigail, just because we've had really good support. Yeah. Yeah. That's why you're pushing forward to grow on YouTube, because yeah, it's a better way. Yeah. Yeah. Homeschooling is an amazing thing. And, there's a lot of people that, kind of have different thoughts on homeschooling. They won't get socialized, which is a common thing that, that people talk about is you have to worry about socialization and all that. But I feel that there's opportunity for so much more socialization, but and just by being homeschooled, if you do it right. We're a part of a homeschool group. Our city has a really strong homeschooling community, and but not only the homeschooling community, but just the idea that because uh, a child is being taught from home, there are so many different things. Excuse me. There are so many different things that you can go out and do and explore, whether it be my daughter just wound up visiting my work to have a tour and everything, because I'm in the asphalt and mining industry, and so they came out and saw the rock quarry and went down into the pit and got to see all that. And then I work in quality control, so I work in a lab, so I'm kind of like this rock alchemist and everything, where I designed the asphalt mixture. It goes up in once it's designed and the state approves it, then it goes to into an asphalt plant. The asphalt plant blends everything together like a cake, and then I take a sample of it, and I take all of it apart, and make sure all the ingredients are right and the right measurements and everything else like that. So she got to and we had almost 70 people come to that tour. So that was a lot of fun. And I think homeschooling is just, there's so many different benefits to it, in my opinion, and you don't have to deal with all of the indoctrination of what's going on in the world today. So, it's okay. Let's see. Yeah, different events and everything. Yeah, it's so many different things we can do. Um, 8 people watching, 22 likes. Yeah, that's yeah, 98 minutes is crazy. Thank you, Todd. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I appreciate all your support, Todd. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, pretty crazy. So yeah, I had planned on going and getting off around an hour. Todd's got an experiment that he's doing that um, he was giving some advice on Anthony's live today, which I was on as well, and how it how YouTube can push the live down after an hour. So we'll see. Um, yeah, first live. So I don't know. I got so much love right now with people still commenting and still showing me their time. The most valuable thing that we have is our time. So the idea that you guys are all here and giving me your time, it's precious. It's not, I guess, kind of a self plug and everything, but that's what this is all about. The power of 24 hours that I published in September. It's the idea that we have 24 hours. And I guess I'll touch on that if since everybody is here still. Um, the idea that we have 24 hours. We all have 24 hours. It doesn't matter how rich, how poor, anything. We only have 24 hours. That's all we have. But one of the things that I really think is amazing about YouTube, about publishing a book, and about anything else is that even though we only have 24 hours, we can collapse time and we can compress time, just like this live and everything. The idea that I have people that are here, and each hour for every person is combined. That is like a collapsing of time. It's making the 24 hours or the hour and 41 minutes that we've spent, and it's compressed that time and given so much more than an hour. So when I wrote this, that was not really necessarily the thought, because, well, it's the power of 24 hours. Within just 24 hours, we can change the world one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. Every decision that we make, we have the ability to make decisions that give us that either grow us or have us trailing down and everything. But one of the pushes or one of the ideas or one of the thoughts and everything, whenever I finally got the courage and everything to come onto YouTube, is the idea that one video is an asset that might only get a view or two or five or 20 or whatever but over time, once YouTube picks that up, once the algorithm picks that up, and then it gains traction, it has the ability to compress time. And that to me is just such a fascinating thing. And the same thing with publishing a book. I have not sold a lot of these. Publishing it, I didn't do a book launch. I didn't tell anybody. I published it just to get it out there. It was a big enough thing for me just to write it. And I didn't want anything to stop me from getting nervous. Before publishing it, I would tear it apart and everything. I would read through it and everything. I'd be like, oh, I don't like that. It's too complex. I need to simplify it more. And the amount of times that I re-edited it and fixed it, because I didn't have an editor. I didn't do anything that was right. Imperfect action. I wrote it, I edited it, and I re-edited it, and I got it to where I think it's good enough, and I published it. I put it on Amazon and published it. And then I realized that, well, without anybody knowing about it, how am I going to sell any copies? Well, I'm not going to sell any copies because no one knows about it. And I think it's an important message, and I think it can help people. But the only way people are going to know about it is to actually use the voice that God has given me, and to get onto a platform that has over 2 billion people on it, and to actually share my message, to actually say, hey, This is what I feel is important. God has given me a voice, and I want to share it. And it doesn't stop me from being nervous and not wanting to get on video, because I'm very introverted. Um, uh, INFJ, for the if anybody's taken the 16 personalities or the Myers-Briggs and everything, I know some people might not think that that's something that's worth anything, because if you listen to some people, it's like, well, that's not a really good judge of personality traits and everything else like that, because there are other personality trait or personality things. But INFJ is like one of those, for a man, is under 2%. I've taken this test multiple times over my life, and it always comes back to INFJ. It's very introverted, intuitive, based on high in feelings and then judgment. And so, yeah, I think I might have. Yeah. So, yeah. As a teacher, I used to be skeptical about it. Yeah. However, bad. Yeah. All right. Anybody else got anything? Or are we going to pull out off of it? I think everybody stopped commenting, and I've just been ranting. So I think I'll pull off that. It says 6 members, but I think everybody stopped. You're just chilling out. Yeah, I think I've taken everybody's time too much. Yeah. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, we're all still here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nitya. Yeah. Yeah. I got ranting and everything, and then I'm like, oh well, I think I might have dropped everybody off. There show's still 7 people here, which is amazing. But yeah. I got nervous though. I got ranting and everything, and then I looked and I'm like, everybody stopped. I think I might have ran over my time. But yeah, I think I'm gonna pull off of the live. I thank you so very much, everyone. Um, the link, it's not in my bio. You can search on Amazon Power of 24 Hours, and it'll come up. Looks like that. It'll come up. It's just Power of 24 Hours in Amazon, and it's published on Amazon. I can put it in my bio, but I'd have to do that. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I've dropped the ball on that. Yeah, I think if anybody has Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free, I believe. If you have Kindle Unlimited, I think you can get it for free, the PDF version. Kindle Unlimited, it's the royalties are based off of pages read in the PDF version, I think. But yeah, of course, if you want to buy the physical copy, that's cool too. But it's always nice to see. But yep. So yeah, 22 likes, 4 people starting to die off. Thank you so much, everyone. I love you all. And thanks for hanging out with me and making my first live an hour and 49 minutes and much longer than I anticipated. And you all are amazing. All right. Have a great night. Thank you. I'll be on somebody else's live at some point soon. And thank you. I need to check out. I'll check out your channel, Jersey Girl. Just do it yourself. Always learning. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Yeah, voice text. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.